Welcome back guys to my YouTube channel. In today's video I am going to tell you how the movement of the chess piece occur. There are various movements which are assigned to each chess piece and it is very important to know what are the movements, because if you don't know how the chess piece move and how they capture the other pieces, then you will not able to win the game or even play the game. So starting with the pawn piece. Total there are 16 pawns in the game of chess, 8 white pawns and 8 black pawns. In the starting of the game, remember, pawn always move in single direction, that is in straight direction, and in single steps, except in the case of beginning of the game when you are moving your pawn for the first time. You have two options: either you can move the pawn two square up or one square up. And how the pawn piece catches the other piece, it always catches the piece which is present diagonal to it. Now I will give you the demo. Look, this is how I move the white pawn. I move the white pawn two square up. Now the black, I move the black pawn one square up. I have also the two options here. I can also move that black pawn to two square up, but I use one square up to show you how the pawn piece can be moved. Now how to capture the pawn piece. Look, now the white can easily capture the black piece because it is present diagonally to it, like this, and the black now capture the white piece which is present diagonally to it. So this is how the pawn pieces move. After the pawn, I am going to show you how the knight piece move. So the knight, first of all, the knight has the ability to jump over the next piece which is present around it. This is the only ability which is present with knight. No other piece can jump over the next piece. So how the knight move? Knight always move in L direction. I will give you a demo. Look how I move the white knight. Look again. So this is the movement which are used by the knight. Now I will show with the black knight. Same here. Now you can move it like this. And now how the knight capture the other piece. Knight always capture the piece which present to its next position in which it is going to jump. Look how the white will capture the black pawn like this, and the black knight will going to capture the white pawn. Now again, if you remember how the pawn capture the pieces, there is a position. This black knight is present diagonal to the white pawn. Now it can easily capture the black knight. So these are the movements which are used by the knight piece. So after the knight, I am going to show you the movement of bishop. So remember, bishop always move in diagonal direction and it has no limitation of the square pieces. It can move to all the square which can be accessible to it. Like pawn, which can only move one square up, two square up, but the bishop can move to any square in any direction, in diagonal direction. Sorry. Now I'm going to show you a demo. After the bishop, I am going to show you the movement of the rook. For rook, remember two things. First, rook always move in horizontal or vertical direction, not in diagonal direction like the bishop. And also it cannot jump over the next piece like the knight. Now, the number of the square which a rook piece can move at a time is unlimited. There is no limitation to the number of squares it can move at a single time. So now I am going to show a demo on how the rook moves. Look carefully. Look how I move this rook in vertical direction, because only this direction is available to it at this moment. Same goes for the black. Now this white rook can move horizontal direction because it is available to it. Same the black rook. Now how the rook capture the other pieces? It always captures the piece which is present next to its path. Look here. How the white captures the black rook. Again. Now this white rook is present diagonal to the black pawn. So by the first rule, black pawn can capture the only pieces which are present diagonal to it. So it can capture this white rook easily. So these are the movements which are used by the rook So remember, rook can move in either horizontal direction or vertical direction. There is no limitation to the number of squares it can move. Second, it cannot jump over the next piece. And third, it captures only those pieces which are present to next to its path. So after the rook, I am going to show you the movement of the queen. Remember one thing, queen is the most powerful piece in game of chess after the king. The movement of the queen. The queen can move in any direction. That is, it can move horizontal, vertical, or diagonal direction. And coming to the number of squares which a queen can move at a time, it is goes same as that of the rook. There is no limitation to the number of squares which a queen can move at a time. And now, which piece can it capture? It can capture any piece which will present in its path. So I'm going to show you how the queen moves. Look carefully. Look, I move the queen diagonally. Now the black, I also move the black queen diagonally. Now again diagonally, white queen. Now look, black queen is present opposite to the white queen, and it is now the turn of the black queen. Now the black queen will capture the white queen by moving down vertical direction. And now again look, this piece can be captured by the white pawn or the white knight. Look how the knight will capture the queen like this. So remember, queen can move in any direction. There is no limitation to the number of squares it can move. But one thing, it cannot jump over the next pieces like the knight. This ability is only within the knight. So the queen is the most powerful piece, but after the king, because king is the only piece on which the game depends. If your king is unsafe, your game will be over, whether the queen is present or not. So after the queen, I am going to show you the movement of the king. Remember, like queen, king can move in any direction, horizontal, vertical or diagonal direction. But only limitation is that king can only move one square at a time. This is the main limitation and the main important movement of the king. Look here, how the white king, the dots which are present around the white king, these represent the movement of the king. Now I am going to show you the movement of the king. Look carefully. Only one square at a time. Look over the black king also. Now how king capture the piece? Remember, king will capture only those pieces which is present next to its square. Look how it will capture the white rook. Look like this. Or it can also capture if I will place it here, but it will never capture if I will place it here. So these are the basic movements which are used by the king. So remember, king can move to any direction but only one square, and it will capture only those pieces which are present next to its square. So with this, I already covered all the movements which are used in game of chess. So if you have any question or query, you can ask it in the comment. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. It will motivate me and support me to upload more videos for the game of chess. Thank you. See you tomorrow.